Rockstar, a podcast speaks to Gihareh, sono to a couple, the sono chief Gihareh, let's see, Augustus K. Alright. So, this episode 3, like, you want to call everything a fucking filler episode or something like that, but, like, yeah, I don't think it does fucking too much of anything. And mind you, like, so, it's just kind of worth mentioning, I like The Alchemist. I'm not sure if it says it. Like I'm talking about the book, about Paul Coelho, whatever. Not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't know what you call it. Paulo. So on The Alchemist, not I don't know, but in the book The Alchemist, I'm not sure if it mentions it specifically at one time or I forget where there's like this notion, but it was like about having a character and like you don't necessarily have to have a whole bunch of characters. You know what I'm saying? Or just like you got this character that you mainly kind of just focus on. It's this concept of having a whole bunch of characters, right? And so like that's why I told you I was like, yo, I'm trying to figure out who this person. I had to refer to people as their title, like, oh yeah, it's this person who did this and did that. So I'm kind of put stuff together. But I guess this one kind of helps you still put some people's names together. But I'm still not gonna know everybody's name and this and third, boom, boom, who's this and who's that. There were still some people I'm like, well, either one of them, like, I'm gonna talk about it. So episode 3 kind of focuses more on it. Episode 3 is based in 1986. So episode 3, like the first 2 episodes is 2019. Episode 3, but and it kind of like transitions, but episode 3 is all just, what I'm saying, 1986. And who's in 1986? Mikhail. So it's just following Mikhail through 1986. So mind you, in the other episode, he popped up at the house. He popped up at his house, and what ended up being, it's how do I say, the person who opened the door, his name was Ulrich, and he hopped on the motorcycle. He had to go to school and whatnot. And he's like, yo, you don't live here in this time, boom, boom. So, but that ends up being his dad. So Mikhail is, what does he do? He goes to the school. And he's like, well, I'm looking for my mom. My mom's supposed to be the principal. They was like, well, yeah, the principal ain't, he might be whatchamacallit, but he ain't no woman. So he's like, oh, okay. Mikhail goes to the police station. Police station is like, because, his dad works at the police station. He was like, the guy he ends up talking to was like, that's your dad? He was like, no, this ain't the going. He doesn't work here, but somebody's going to come take you and take you to the hospital or whatever. But he then, when he has this conversation with the police officer does confirm the date again, like, yo, it's 1986. Like, so then there is, like, there's just a couple other, like, little scenes or whatever. So, like, there's things that I kind of, like, didn't mention, but, like, because, it does something, but then it's, like, of a running loop, a thing of bringing back and making sure everything is connected. So, like, in the other episode, well, I think it was, like, episode 2, probably, like, the one lady, she walks outside, and then, there's a whole bunch of birds on the ground. She picks one of the birds up. So there's a scene of a girl riding a bike, and there's a bird on the ground. She picks this bird up, puts it in her bag. She ends up drawing it later. But I'm gonna come back to that. So there's that. So Mikhail goes to the school. He goes to the police station, and then at the police station, one of the police officers, he gets a call. So he gets a call to go check on this one place again. Now this is the first scene I can kind of like talk about it here, right? So police officer goes to check on this scene. Boom, they're like, what the hell happened? And it was like, you think it was a wolf? There's no bite marks. He said, you think it was, this and third? Like, he trying to figure it out. Not really sure, like, what the hell going on. So then, but how many sheep are, whatchamacallit? 33. So there's something about this number 33. Now, the dude whose, I guess, property this happened on, he then ends up saying, you never know the time or the place of the Senate there. He's like, Mark, it comes from the Gospel of Mark of 13:33. So 333 in there. I was supposed to go look it up to see if it was really Mark 13:33, but just in conversation, it was 333. So you got 33 sheep killed, and you got the whole, you never know the time and place in the third Gospel of Mark 13:33, all this, right? So again, numbers and da-da-da. So we're still trying to figure that out. But I think I can safely say Ulrich is the police officer dad. So, but back in the day, in the 80s, he was like, he's just this teen smoking on smoking cigarettes, riding motorcycles and shit. So, like, there's that. Then, what else we got? Come on. Now, it's like, because there's still some things that have not been, solidified. There's still like some holes in the story that, just stuff that just got to get filled in. So I don't know what happened. We still don't, well, when the show is first starting, the boy Eric is missing. And then you know what happens, Mikhail goes into the forest, now Mikhail's missing or not. Previously, in the other episode, there was like the older lady and with Mads, and she goes to like, so she like takes toys to the grave, and like so she'll take one toy off the grave and put another toy on the grave. And so Mads, and this is just what I can from kind of tell and gather, Mads is Ulrich's brother. Not sure what happened to Mads, but like even when a police officer comes to like press Ulrich, and the reason he presses Ulrich is because Mikhail went to the police station looking for his dad. He's like, my dad's name is Ulrich Nilsson. He's like, your dad's Ulrich Nilsson. All right, you know what I'm saying? He's like, did Ulrich do this to you, mess up your face and whatnot? So the dad goes to press Ulrich out. You know what I'm saying? The teenage version of Ulrich. So, and then, but he finds like this hoof. Mind you, he just already checked this scene out too. So he thought Ulrich had something to do with this scene. So then, you got that, let me see, Ulrich. Oh, we don't know what happened to Mads. Don't know what's going on. But Ulrich said the same thing to the police officer. Oh, yeah, Mom, he just came by to check on, tell me more about what happened with my brother, Mads, or whatever. Oh, they don't have any new information, you know what I'm saying? And so he goes back to sit down playing his game or whatever. But, so, not sure what happened to Mads, but I'm pretty sure Mads is Ulrich's brother. We just don't know what happened to him. And he's missing or whatever. Then, the nuclear power plant. Let me see if I got another picture for that. The nuclear power plant. Oh, now, okay. With the nuclear power plant, I'm not sure who is this lady supposed to be in like the 2019 reference, but the nuclear power plant. So there's this big thing. So again, originally, like the nuclear power plant is just like, they keep kind of like hinting at it, mentioning it. And then episode 2 is when you really start to focus on the power plant, like something is going on weird there. Now, in 1986, it's supposed to be the lady, she is going to be the first lady to take over the nuclear power plant. She's going to be the first lady to take over the nuclear power plant. So on her first day, some things, like, it's just some other things that kind of happen. I'm just going to, I need to probably also mention just a couple of shit just because in case it starts to pop up later. So a lady. I'm not sure her name. I'm not sure how important she's supposed to be later on. This and that. She is going to take over the nuclear power plant. Like this is supposed to be like big and new. So she's like talking to her daughter about this and that. Third, like, paying for these lessons, and her daughter's just like bland and just doesn't really care about nothing. She's not like she's that type of teenager. She's just bland. She doesn't really care about shit. So, but she's telling me like, no, I paid for fencing lessons and this and that, and you don't know how much things cost, and you don't care about. So you know what I'm saying? And I'm not. So anyway, and then on her first day, she's walking in. The dude is like scrubbing the floor or whatever, and he's trying to like congratulate her about on taking a new position and things like that. But you can kind of tell like he has a crush on her because he's talking. He's like, bitch, what the fuck do you want? Like, why you keep talking to me? And he ends up giving her a book. Now the book that he gives her does pop up. It popped up earlier. The one dude who goes in front of the mirror with the whatchamacallit and got the stuff on his back and whatnot. That dude that wearing the black jacket. We don't know what's up with him. I think he also has this book or whatever. I should probably look at the name of this book and figure out what the hell this shit means. At least the title of it. See what the fuck the title means. So then on like her first day, the dude who's like cleaning who's cleaning the fucking street, he wants to congratulate her, give her this book. Then when she gets in there, this other lady has this like report. She's like, yeah, I had these reports for you, this and third that you asked for. Now she's looking at these reports and she's like, yeah. And so like there's a couple things. Because like sometimes they say something and you kind of say like, okay, there's something with their personality or this and third. So, because the girl who gives her like these files or whatever is like, these weren't hard to find to put all this stuff together and, this and congratulations, but, this and that. She's trying, but the lady that she gets, like the new nuclear power plant lady, she doesn't say thank you. She's just looking at the fucking files and she's like, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, stop talking, get out my face. Like, but she's not like rude, but she doesn't like, it's like those type of things. She doesn't say thank you. She doesn't whatchamacallit. She doesn't really acknowledge the girl. Even the girl says congratulations. She doesn't say thank you for bringing me like all this information in the files and whatnot. But then, mind you, it's supposed to be a switch at the power plant though, right? So she is coming into power. Now she walks into the office and she says to the dude like, "Yo, look at these, you know what I'm saying? These numbers in these files, like these, you know what I'm saying? It's not matching up." The dude is like, he was like, how many people depend on us? And she was like, there's about this many employees. He's like, the whole city. You know what I'm saying? This ain't third, boom, boom. And so, tell me I made the right decision. Now, this isn't fashion art photography discourse, but I do want to say something about the way she was. Like, I'm trying to see if I got a really decent fit for her. So, she came through with this blazer. This is when she's questioning the guy. He's also you can't tell. He's in a wheelchair. This blazer she got on though, fire. This blazer she got, I'm trying to whatchamacallit, bro. This blazer was fire. One button. The shit, I don't even know how this shit, like, I'm pretty sure it probably has a button, like, there's probably, maybe not, I'm not sure. Like, the way this shit was coming across, it looked like it looked like it was almost a shirt that just has, like, this, you know what I'm saying, jacket capability to it. So, yeah, I'm not sure, like, if you just put this on as a fucking shirt and then you can just button that one part right there. This shit was fire. This shit was fire. Like the color and all that shit. Like, this was a fire ass, whatchamacallit. So, but this guy's in a wheelchair. That's the guy that she's replacing at the power plant. Now, mind you, also, there's this other dude, which I think is the one that popped up later. I think he's the one that, like, is running the power plant now. I think, maybe not, because the dude who's running the power plant now seems kind of young. He don't seem old. But, because mind you, this is 1986, so some of the older characters in the episode 1, 2, like, this was like the younger versions. Now, I will say something about this as well. They did a pretty decent job as far as, like, how sometimes you're like, this is supposed to be the younger version of this person? They did a pretty decent good job of like, oh, this is the teenage version of this person. This is the teenage version of this person. But she's questioning him about like the numbers ain't adding up. She was like the past 3 months is in the third boom boom. And he was like, well, he's like, there's certain things that you just probably shouldn't concern yourself with. She was like, nah, this makes me even more concerned about like, I need to do this. Like, I need to figure this shit the fuck out. And then like, cause I was gonna get to, but there's another thing. She was like, she comes down and she's like, he takes her to this one part of like they go into like the woods, forest, whatever. They take to this one part, and like she has to go down this rope. Like she goes down the rope into like this little cave, whatever, to explore in this fucking outfit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, her daughter is like her daughter. She wears glasses. She has some with some red lipstick. I don't know. Her daughter was doing something in the mirror, but I don't know who the fuck she is supposed to be. Because later on, they parallel her with another lady, and I'm like, I'm not sure who this lady is. I'm not sure who she is. That happens to me like twice, but I at least know Ulrich is the police officer dad. Um, what else? So they go from here to here. Like there's not a lot that happens. Um, but while Mikhail is in the police officer station, like he's looking at some shit, and he picks up a nice little, it just reminded me. He's walking through the cave. He has a Zippo lighter. He has a Zippo lighter. I haven't used my Zippo lighter in so long. I haven't used a Zippo lighter, my Zippo lighter, in so long, bro. But it was just nice to see one. So um, he went to the school, Mikhail. He went to the school to look for his mom. He went to the police station to look for his dad. Then from there, they took him to the hospital. And when he was at the hospital, like he wasn't saying nothing. And then after a while, he was like, "Yo, I'm from the future." Like he just kind of much like, "Yo, I'm from the future." And the crazy thing, like the little nurse lady was looking at, she was like, she wasn't. I don't know if she really sure to believe him or this and that because she had just put this comic book beside him. She's like, "Here, you can read this," because he wasn't talking. At first, what you call it was with the first few instances, the first few places he visited, like because he went to the house, and I would assume that that lady was not his grandmother. I think it was supposed to be Ulrich's mom. So that would have been his grandmother. Because remember, he's at the house first. That's how the thing starts. It starts with the lady at the house, and she was like, he was like, the door was open. She's like, yeah, just not there, because Mads or whatever. But Mads would be his uncle. Yeah. But first he's at the house, then he's at the school, then he's at the police station. And yeah, so there's all of that, you know what I'm saying? But then, so by the time he gets to the whatchamacallit, he's tired of people saying that, he acting weird and this and the third. So when he gets to the hospital, he's not really talking much. But the lady, she's like, well, you can read this. After she stitched up his arm, like, you can read this, boom. And she like walks out the room or whatever. But she goes to walk out the room, but the comic book that she put in front of him was called Captain Future. And when she's walking out the room, he finally speaks and he's like, I'm from the future. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, what? And he's like, I'm from the future, yeah. So there's that. And yeah, so like then it finally kind of gets to like the end of the fucking shit is he hops out so like lights start flickering and flashing like again like it wasn't whatchamacallit. The dude, one of the police officer guys, he's like going through the fields or whatever. Oh, because they like, again, there's something about the sound with the vibrations or whatnot. Because the police officer guy, when they were doing like the autopsy with the sheep, the police officer guy was like, was any of these missing a hoof? Because he's trying to see if Ulrich was a culprit. He was like, no, none of them was a wolf. But something with sound kind of like vibrates, you know what I'm saying? Something with that sound and like it's something going on with the sounds or whatever. So it's something with sound and something with like the lights with the eyes and whatnot. Because also, just as an aside, they also mentioned how like he was like, yeah, like these sheep are like really sensitive. So if one like really starts to panic, then you know what I'm saying, all the rest of them will, you know what I'm saying, kind of catch on and just panic and fall out like a pack of flies. Like, could a human do this? No, it's like Freddy Krueger and this and the third. It would take a fucking lot to have just to happen. But when he's doing like an autopsy on one of the sheep, he's like, nope, none of them missing like a hoof. They are all just what you call made them. I forgot Hugo Slavian. He's like, yeah, my wife's making some Hugo Slavian meatballs. They're gonna be pretty spicy and pretty tasty. Now I want some Hugo Slavian meatballs. pause if I need to say that. But um, something with sound. Yeah, we got something going on with the sound. We still don't know what the fuck is going on with that for real. But when Mikhail starts to go through the cave, when Mikhail goes through the cave and whatnot, it starts to do this parallel of like, okay, this character is this character, like, and it shows like side by side. This character, this is the young version, this is the old version. This is the young version, this is the old version. Everything except for this part. So Mikhail is going back. Mikhail's like, all right, fuck this. I'm gonna just go back to the cave. Mikhail goes back to the cave at the same time in 2019. His dad is going back to the cave to go look for him because he can't. He tried to talk to the nuclear power plant people. He can't get. He can't get the. Well, I've been chatting. Well, I've been going. He tried to get the warrant. They wouldn't give him a warrant. He's like, fuck, I'm going back. He goes back, and cause he goes back to this door that has a symbol. Oh, I forgot to mention one shit. Okay. He goes back to the door with the symbol. He's trying to like break it open. At the same time, Mikhail is going back to the door. Now, when Mikhail's going back, there's like the lights are flickering. The police officer guy is walking through this field or whatever, and then all these birds are dropping onto the car. Well, the birds start dropping around him, and then he gets into the car, and the birds are just dropping out the sky. Um, and Mikhail goes back to the whatchamacallit. So while Mikhail's going back to the cave, mind you, he's in the past. He's in 1986. His dad is going through the cave in 2019, and so they show both of the sides. And like when the dad's trying to open the door, like Mikhail falls and he's like, "Help, help me! Is anybody there?" And maybe kind of sort of like his dad hears it and whatever. And his dad's like, "Mikhail, are you there? He's not there." Like, Mikhail, and then so like they parallel these two, Mikhail and his dad, like outside the cave. Because Mikhail, I don't know if he goes back outside the cave. He just like sits down because his leg done got messed up. He slipped and fell. Ulrich is just like kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But those two parallel. Those are that's the only one that's like not the same. Then, but a couple other characters, it does a parallel, and it's like, oh well, this person's this person, the young and the old version. Um, you could tell Ulrich. Uh, I'm not sure who the girl. Oh, oh, okay. Well, the girl who's in the beginning, who's riding her bike. Okay, her name may be Charlotte. No, maybe. Yes, her name is Charlotte. Girl who's riding a bike in the beginning, who picks up the dead bird and be drawing birds and whatnot. She, uh, she ends up being the chief of police. Okay, I just made that connection. But I'm trying to figure out. There's a couple people I just did not know who they were. I'm like, it matched up. It was this old man and the one guy, but I was like, where did he come up in this episode? And I forget if he came up in this episode. I was like, I didn't remember. I was like, who the fuck is this? There was one like that. Um, the mom one, the mom, which would have been Ulrich's mom. That one, I'm not sure what the hell's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? And her husband as the police or whatever. Yeah, I think her husband was police. Yeah, that nigga was still. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, there was just like because there was a couple other parts like the one lady. Okay, let me go back to her. Why do I need to go back to her? Oh, well. Oh, like I told you, when she gets into the cave with this on, she slides down the drain with this on, and at one point there's like this big tower of a whole bunch of like yellow containers with the little hazard sign on them. So I don't know why the fuck they were there, but they just showed that the guy. And then there's one quote that I did pick up from this one, and it was, "What we know is a drop. What we don't know is the ocean." Ocean or sea, one of the two. What we know is a drop. What we don't know is the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know a lot. What we know is just a little bit. So there was that. Mm. Anything else? Um, what else? I think that was pretty much it. I kind of like, okay. Also, 'cause I think I mentioned it. There was a guy on like her first day or whatever, and she was like walking past, and she was like, what did she say to him? She said, she said interview. She was like, you got to schedule an interview for another day, like not today, this ain't that wrong. But you know, he has this whole interacting exchange with her, and they kind of like touch hands, and he was like, I need you in this and third room, bro. And he was like, later, this and that. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on with them. Like, he may have been the person that they showed later, but I didn't know who the fuck that was. I couldn't match it up with the old guy. I couldn't match either one of them up. Like, I didn't know if that was the old guy that is waking up in the. Nah, that's not him. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I couldn't match that up. I was like, who the hell is this? I still didn't know who either one of them were. So, not too much happened. Yeah, there's not too much as far as like that would have made progress to the story. Maybe kind of sort. I'm not sure, but I think, cause yeah, like I said, this shit in the beginning with the Alchemist. I think it's the book, The Alchemist. I think it does this shit. I think it says this. It says something about having one character, like, and you don't like for you to focus on one character and know their name and this and that, boom, boom. You don't gotta focus and like you slowly draw in other characters here and there. You know what I'm saying? They were like, so there's this thing like with this one, like there's a whole bunch of characters to keep track of, storylines, subplots, you know, shit like that. So trying to figure this shit the fuck out, trying to because I think there's a piece that's so what I'm trying to say is like something like this, and you know, like especially you know, like at the end when it's like showing you side by side, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, young and old versions, like because there's so many characters, and you like, well, I don't know this person's name, I don't know this person's name, but so it's like I guess that you know you need some time to get acclimated to know like, oh, this is this character and this is this character and this is their name. What and you know what I'm saying? I could possibly need something like that. I could possibly need something like that. So that was episode 3. That was episode 3. I think I mentioned most because sometimes I'm like, oh, they're just little ass scene, and I don't mention the shit, and then all of a sudden it comes back. I'm like, oh, I fucking should have mentioned this. I'm trying to think, is there another little ass scene that I just could just mention of like something that happened? But no, I don't think. I think we're good. I think we're good. Well, because they talk Ulrich, because I think there's one thing towards the end. Ulrich and I think the girl name is Shannon. I'm not sure what they got going on or who should. I'm not sure who Shannon ends up being later. I don't know. Because Ulrich is sitting at like the little bus stop or whatever. He was like, hey, Shannon. And Shannon pulls up the girl and he just smoking a cigarette. And she comes up and he's like, they're like, is this the apocalypse? I don't know. He's like, I thought it would have been a little more interesting, you know? So I'm not sure, like, you can see, like, whether it's evident or not, like, it's one of those interactions where it's supposed to be like, the guy is just too cool, you know, it's not that wrong, and the girl maybe kind of likes him, and, you know, she's trying to just, like, keep things going, or she, you know how a girl can be if she likes and she wants to talk. So it's something like that. I think she was like, "Is this the apocalypse?" She's like, "Oh, I think it would have been a little more. You thought it a little bit a little more exciting or louder and this and that third one." I forget how that scene ends, but well, it ends with her just like, you know, just sitting there next to him. So there's that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that like any other little episodes? I'm just stumped on one part just because I don't know who. There was like a couple people I just didn't know who they were. I was like, well, I don't know who this person is in 2019 or the 1986. I was like, who the hell is this? So other than that, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's weird. I think that's it. It's still worth watching. Still worth watching. I'm not bored of it yet. I'm not bored of it yet. I'm still trying, I'm still trying to figure shit the fuck out. Cause like with this, there's like there's plot, there's subplot, all this shit happening, right? It's like at like there's a point I feel like when you're watching a movie or whatever it is, you're like, okay, I finally know all the characters. I know what the hell's going on here and here and here. Like, and finally being able to get your feet, like your feet flat, feet on the ground is like, okay, now anything that happens, you're like, okay, now I kind of like boom with this person, boom with this person. I haven't got my feet on the ground necessarily with this show. I haven't got my that's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, how do I say, like, at a point where you finally understand, like, okay, I know who this is. I know what the hell going on over here. I know who this is. I know what the hell going on over here. I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's still some people I still cannot name. And the whatchamacallit. So I'm still trying to figure out certain characters, why or how they're important. You know, who runs this, who's running that. Because it's a lady running the power plant in 1986. In 2019, it's another man. So I don't know nothing about that. And then anything else? The guy with the black jacket, they don't mention him or say nothing about him, so I don't know who the fuck he is. We still don't know who he is. We still don't know what's going on at the power plant. And yeah. So hopefully episode 4 will allow us to we get some more progress for plot. You know what I'm saying? We get some more progress for plot. So I'm about to watch episode 4. Tap in, tune in with me, and